night, holy cow. I'm calling it a debate because that's what it felt like watching it. There's around 13 to 14,000 people in Festus. In the comments from the live stream on the debate last night, I realized there's a large portion of Festus that want the data center. Now, voter turnout for Festus is usually around 1,000 residents. That's it. That's like 7.5% if you're lucky. People who don't want it are much louder than the people who do. Why would anyone want a data center? They're loud. They take up so much space. They take up electricity, all this water. They emit vapor into the air. Why would anyone want that? It's a hustle, sweetheart. CRG, aka Clayco, is a real estate investment company. Develop, design, and build. Clayco's job is to find the land, develop the land, build the building, and sell it to the entity. And that would be whoever is going to fill the data center. And that partner has actually not been named. Festus has mentioned a lot the profits that the city of Festus will procure, but what you don't know is what are the profits that Clayco will procure? How much money are they getting in comparison is what I would want to know. If you go to CRG's website, you can see here you can find the executive leadership, and this will tell you who is in charge of CRG itself. And as you go down, you can continue to see that this is quite a large entity. Now, why did they pick Festus? Why are they targeting rural communities out in the middle of nowhere in Missouri? Now, there are a few key location considerations. You need a stable, affordable power grid. You need fiber connectivity, a low natural disaster risk, which you can't really find that in Missouri, let's be honest. Adequate space for the big-ass building. Climates that support efficient cooling. It gets really hot here, so there's gonna have to be a lot of cooling agents. Somewhere with favorable tax incentives, and somewhere close to users. So they're looking for places that are populated. They're not looking for somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. Now, they did try this in St. Charles first. This is the same company, and it was inevitably withdrawn. Withdrawn because residents were concerned over high energy usage, water supply impact, increased traffic, potential flooding, and a lack of transparency regarding developer and user. Now, St. Charles is primarily a conservative county, as you can see from this political map I found on the internet. A lot of people don't know that. Now, Clayco CRG is a real estate investment company, so the best way for them to procure the land that they need for something as controversial like a data center is going to be for them to sell it. That is what real estate is. It is sales. They have to sell this project to a community. They're not selling it to the people. They're going to sell it to the council member. They're going to sell it to the political parties. They're going to sell this dream of economic growth. Republicans prioritize economic growth because it enhances prosperity. It's job creation, individual freedom. They believe growth is the best way to raise living standards. Now, if you're into politics and you're in Jefferson County, you know that we struggle with economic growth. We have a 1.74-year average growth rate, and that suggests slow growth or just absolute decline in certain areas. So they see this data center as just this big, giant way to supersede the growth in Jefferson County. And if you're a politician during that area, that does nothing but make you look good. That's a political resume all day. And CRG knows this, so they've packaged it up and they've put their nice little Republican bow on it. They sold it to the Republicans in the county and got pushed to the council. And since Jefferson County is primarily conservative, you end up with a lot of people who think this is a good idea. And maybe it is. It says here the executive chairman and founder of CRG is Bob Clark. Well, I found Bob Clark on Instagram, and everybody should go take a gander at his page. If you sift through the people he follows and the people he donates to, you would see that he doesn't affiliate with the Republican Party at all. So why is the real estate company that he owns packaging a data center and selling it to a conservative community? Is this why the U.S. economy has generally shown higher average growth in GDP, job creation, and income under Democratic presidents compared to Republican presidents? Read some of the comments from the live that was posted on Show Me Sentinel. Go figure, liberals don't want to hear from a conservative Republican. Love seeing the Karens. Funny when facts are presented, liberals' heads pop off. Can't wait for the data center to come and force all the poor people to leave. All you poor please can leave Festus and make room for the real breadwinners. Poor people gotta go. Data centers are here to stay. Crazy. I mean, this is crazy. It's funny when you think about it. The owner of the company packaged this data center and sold it to conservatives because he knew that that was the only way he would get the data center approved through council and actually be able to move forward with this project. And you can't package it for the liberals in Jefferson County because there's not enough of them on the council for that to move through. That's why we have so many Democrats in Jefferson County that will file as a Republican, because they know that the likelihood of being voted in as a Democrat in Jefferson County is very low. So CRG basically just did the same thing. And that's why I do what I do, because it doesn't matter what side of the fence you on. You're never going to get anything done. There are factual reasons why a data center would not be ideal for people living next to it. Air pollution, noise pollution. Nitrogen oxide is the harmless vapor that data centers emit. It's the same type of vapor that comes out of your car, which absolutely has health effects. It can aggravate asthma, reduce lung function, and increase susceptibility to infection. High exposure to it can cause bronchitis, pneumonia, and lung tissue damage. It also contributes to ground-level ozone smog formation and reacts to the atmosphere to produce acid rain, which harms the forests and aquatic life. I know we drive cars, but I wish we rode horses. I wish people would adopt the red ant, black ant theory. If you put red and black ants in a glass jar, nothing's going to happen. They won't attack each other. They will just live simultaneously together. It's not until you take that jar and violently shake it and then set it back down on the table that the ants start killing themselves. Not until you intervene and you take that jar and you shake it, whether it's your snarky comments, whether it's being rude to each other, it's making AI photographs of opposing candidates. Everything you do as a politician has the capacity to further the divide in this country. Good politician combines high ethical standards such as integrity and empathy with practical skills like effective communication and a willingness to compromise. Dedicated public servants who prioritize community needs, possess deep knowledge of issues, and remain resilient under pressure. Not buckling because someone packages a project and puts a conservative bow of approval on it. You cannot label someone politically for their vigilance in protecting their stability and their home. Did you know that staying in a familiar home helps prevent or delay memory loss? Uprooting your environment can encourage early onset dementia. These are not just houses that people are living in. These are livelihoods. It's easy for a billionaire to look at a $200,000, $300,000 house and say, what's the big deal? Relocate. It's a big deal because you can't compensate for this. Stay classy, Jefferson County.